When looking at the essence of football clubs, you will find that each has their own identity. It's what dictates how the club operates on and off the field. Some clubs are defined by their distinct style of play, while others get their identity from their mentality. It could be the ability to shine in crucial moments or the tendency to falter when it matters the most. Perhaps there is no better example of this than Barcelona. The very foundation of the club is rooted in representing a specific identity, Catalonian people and their culture. As years have passed by, this identity has taken the form of La Masia, the club's famous youth academy that has produced countless homegrown talents. Modern-day Barcelona stands on three main principles: success, playing attractive brand of football, and academy players. The three driving factors that shaped the club's golden eras of the past. While Barcelona has faced its fair share of challenges like periods of struggling to win or playing unexciting football, La Masia has consistently served as a reliable safety net. It remains a reference point for every rebuilding phase, including the most recent one following Messi's departure. And every few years, La Masia produces a special talent, which can be best described as a prodigy. There are no guarantees that all of these talents will fulfill their potential due to various factors, but the ones that do, they go on to spearhead new eras. Well, another one of those extraordinary talents has emerged, and his name is Lamine Yamal.
Debut de Lamine Yamal.
Histórico, Carlos, histórico, que desde luego no va a olvidar este día. Lamine Yamal se convierte en el jugador más joven del siglo XXI en debutar.
He always makes the right decision, which is something his coaches said afterwards, and at 16 years old.
Lamine Yamal, who we mentioned in the next quick hits, was I have to say outstanding for someone who is 16 in 45 days.
Lamine Yamal, who is indeed Barcelona's most important player right now, the one who looks like making things happen, and he's making himself undroppable for Xavi, and it's really good news for Barca, because they've always had this ability to create young players like this through the academy, and he's the latest one off the production.
Okay, so on the surface, a 16-year-old playing for Barcelona in Spain sounds insane, but it kind of starts making a little more sense when you look at the transformation that has taken place in both teams over the years. Let's look at what I mean. Here's Spain's top 5 youngest goal scorers. In 5th place, it's wonderkid with 18 years and 13 days. Then it's Ansu Fati at 17 years, 10 months, and 3 days. In 3rd place, it's Angel Zubieta with 17 years, 9 months, and 9 days. In 2nd place, it's Gavi with 17 years, 2 months and 1 day. And the youngest goal scorer in Spain's history is Lamine Yamal, 16 years, 1 month, 28 days. That's how old he was when he broke the record a few weeks ago. Now, notice 3 of the 5 players mentioned have made their debuts all in the span of the past 3 years. And we haven't even talked about players like Pedri, Ballon, Nico Williams, or Yeremy Pino. A revolution has taken place in Spain, with the old golden generation fading away and leaving a vacuum for young stars to fill, especially up front, where the team has lacked real quality for some time. We also observe an identical pattern when looking at Barcelona. A combination of financial constraints and the departure of veteran players has compelled the club to turn to its youth. The promising ones have been given opportunities to stake their claim, and Lamine Yamal is one of those players. Last September, reports were coming out that Xavi had called up a 15-year-old to train with the first team. And at first, people thought it was just a one-off thing for him to gain experience. But as the season went on and Barca were guaranteed to win the league, the prospect of Yamal actually playing for the first team didn't seem too crazy, and the dream became a reality for him when he made his debut against Betis at just 17 years, 9 months, and 16 days, putting his name in the history books by becoming the youngest ever player to play in La Liga. As for Barca, he's the club's 4th all-time youngest ever player, only behind Paulinho Alcantara, Carlos Comamala, and Armand Martinez. Though, granted, those guys all made their debuts well over a century ago. Shifting the focus back on Yamal, his stats at La Masia are insane. Since 2014, when he joined the academy, he has scored 357 goals in 249 games. Practically all signs point at a future star in the making, but I think it's important to not get ahead of ourselves. If you have noticed, 2 players keep popping up in this video: Ansu Fati and wonderkid, who is La Masia's all-time highest goal scorer with 423 goals. He actually would have been Spain's youngest ever player too if he hadn't been sick. and you could say he was the original next Messi. Yet today, at still only 33 years old, he has retired from playing professional football. As for Ansu Fati, we are all familiar with his story. Made his debut at 16 and everything was going great until he got injured. Even despite inheriting the famous number 10, he couldn't quite convince Xavi and is now playing for Brighton. Two similar cases which could be a lesson that we need to be realistic with players like Yamal. Too much hype and expectations can be detrimental to the player's development, as we have seen in the past. But at the same time, it's only logical that fans will go crazy over a 16-year-old wonder kid, someone who has jumped multiple steps purely because he was too good. To get an idea of how rare it is for La Masia players to actually make it to the first team, let's look at the careers of the 5 captains who interviewed Messi back in 2016. Juan Garcia, the eldest, who is now 26 years old, left Barca that same year. He now plays in the Spanish 3rd division. Arnau Comas came the closest to actually playing. He was on the bench twice. He is now 23 years old, playing for Basel in the Swiss league. Alex Rico was released 2 seasons ago and at 21 years old plays in the Spanish 4th tier. Pablo Lopez, now 19, left Barcelona last month and is now playing in the Catalan 2nd division. And finally, the 17 years old Pau Prim. He's the only player left at the club and was recently promoted to the under-19 team. He was in the same group as Lamine and has shown a lot of promising signs. Football Talent has given him a rating of 9 out of 10, with the potential to becoming a key player in a top European club. Now, in case you're wondering what they think of Lamine, he has been given a perfect rating of 10, with the potential to become a world-class player. He's best suited to play as a right winger in a 4-3-3. And while Football Scout has given him a lot of labels when it comes to strengths, like pace, technique, football IQ, they have also pointed out some weaknesses, mainly that he needs to polish his weaker foot and that he tends to avoid aerial battles despite being tall. And it will be interesting to see how his game develops as he grows. Right now he's 5'11" at 16. Most likely he will be 6 feet tall very soon, which would put him in a category of tall wingers like Rafael Leao, or even players from the past like Gareth Bale or Ronaldo. I think the most important takeaway here is that the sky is the limit for Yamal, and with Xavi as his coach, we have to see what kind of a player he molds into. Right now we are witnessing glimpses of a potentially extremely bright future, and the logical successor to Barcelona's next great number 10. I'm interested to see what you guys think of Yamal. Let me know in the comments, how do you see his career play out?
Bueno, sentí mucha emoción, muchas emociones juntas, pero sobre todo felicidad y mucha emoción. Sí, bueno, estoy muy feliz por poder tener ese récord y espero poder batir más. Dentro del terreno de juego, donde estoy más cómodo es de extremo derecho y me defino como un jugador que a partir de 3/4 de campo es muy creativo y con bastante habilidad. Bueno, me dijo que cogiera confianza con los primeros pases y luego que encarara y que hiciera lo que hacía siempre. Y eso es lo que intenté hacer. Y luego al saltar al campo, pues me impresionó ver el Camp Nou y mucha felicidad.